What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today, we're going to have a brief look over here at the Bitcoin price chart. We'll take a peek at the altcoin market for just a moment. But the reality is of this video, I just wanted to kind of keep it brief, keep it short. I'm about to go on a 4-day vacation. Here in the United States, we celebrate something called Thanksgiving. It's an opportunity for all of us to spend time with our families and to reflect on the things that we are thankful for in our lives. And so in this video, it's not going to be a tremendous amount of TA or talking too much about the charts, but more of kind of just talking about psychology, because that's a lot what this market is really all about. It's about kind of just keeping your emotions in check and being able to remain in a solid state of mind. Kevin Cage had posted this over here on Twitter this morning. He said, "Waiting is the hardest part for newcomers. The waiting is what creates doubts for someone that doesn't know what they hold. This game is only for the strongest." And I couldn't agree more. This is a game of patience. It's a game of keeping your emotions in check and being able to keep a stable state of mind. When prices go up, we get super excited. When prices go down, we get super scared. Are prices going to keep going down? Or if they're going up, hey, they're going to keep going up. And finding a balance in between is something that I'm always trying to do here on my channel. If you notice, when times are really tough, I'm trying to be that motivator. I'm trying to be that, we're going to get through this. And then when prices get really high, I become that warning kind of guy, right? Trying to stay on the opposite side of emotions. It's probably got a lot to do with experience. I've been through a significant amount of ups and downs. I've watched what happened with the emotions in every single phase. I've even documented my own emotions. I've talked about this before, that I kept a emotional log of myself back in 2017 and 2018 as we were going through the craziness of Bitcoin. And I have all the documents of my journal when I was documenting every single day for Bitcoin when we were crashing from right here, when we were going from $6,000 all the way down to $3,000. I was writing in my emotional log every day. And I go back and look at that, and I used a lot of profanity then. But one thing you may know about me, one thing you may not know about me, is that I've been sober for over 8 years. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything like that. When I was in my 20s, I used to party a lot, but eventually I got to a point where, you know what, this isn't helping my life in any way. And I have not had a sip of beer or anything like that since 2013. And it really helped me get a moment of clarity in my life. And it's something that I carry with me to this day. And as we're heading into this Thanksgiving break, we're supposed to take this time to recognize what we're thankful for and what we're grateful for. And that is something I try to practice as often as I can, to try to remain in gratitude for life. And I think that's one of the things that really helps me manage my emotions through the ups and through the downs that happen in this market. So there's not a lot of TA in here. This is more of me just saying, hey, I'm going on vacation for 4 days into the Thanksgiving break. But I wanted to take a moment to really just kind of say how grateful I am for this YouTube channel, and how grateful I am for the fact that you watch my YouTube channel and you support me. You like my videos, you like my tweets, you comment really nice things, and I'm really grateful for that. This has been an incredible opportunity in my life. And it's so strange because I sit here at this computer screens. I've got 3 monitors here. Nothing's changed. I still use the exact same desk I've always used. The only thing that has really changed is the number of people who actually watch, the number of people commenting, the number of likes. But in the end, I'm still the exact same person that I've always been, even when I had 1 subscriber. And there are times where I'll get frustrated with my channel, where the comments get pretty brutal and you got to fight back a little bit. And there will be times where I sound very serious on my YouTube channel. I sound frustrated, but it's not that. It's me just portraying a message. And in the end, I'm super grateful for this YouTube channel. It is like the opportunity of a lifetime to have this. I think people dream of having YouTube channels with 219,000 subscribers. I can tell you, I never imagined that that would be me. But remaining in gratitude for everything in life is super important to be able to handle this type of volatile market. I've talked about this in a live stream, and I've brought this up over the last couple of years, that I talk about something called the law of diminishing returns on happiness. And I hope that you could take this with you as you go into Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, or even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, to just kind of take a moment to reflect on it. That when the crypto markets are super volatile and super crazy, you still have things that you could be grateful for. You still have things that you can be thankful for. In life, there are really only a few things that you need to fulfill most of your happiness. It's going to come from family, love, having a roof over your head, having food and water, and having a vehicle. So long as you have those things, most of your happiness in your life is satisfied. You can go from driving a Toyota Corolla to driving a Lambo, but your complete happiness won't change dramatically. Not as much as the person who had no car and went to having a Toyota Corolla. They used to walk, they used to have to take a bicycle to get anywhere that they wanted to go, but now they have a Toyota Corolla. That's a huge jump in what they can do in their life and their freedom. But the person going from the Toyota Corolla to the Lambo doesn't get a super big jump in their happiness like the person that went from walking to driving a Corolla. So, whether you don't like your car or you don't like your mode of transportation, sometimes we could just take a step back and say, it would be a lot worse if I didn't have it. And I can be grateful for that. If you have somewhere to sleep, I promise you are much happier than the person who is sleeping underneath a bridge or the person who is sleeping on the street holding out a can asking for coins. You may not like if you live in a small apartment and you'd much rather have a big house, sure, but you're not the guy on the street begging for change. The level of happiness that somebody would experience going from being homeless on the side of the street to being in an apartment is a huge jump in happiness. The level of happiness going from an apartment to a house, that's a pretty good jump, but not as big of a jump as a person going from the side of the street who has to live in the rain and the snow and the heat and the cold to finally having a roof over their head. That's a huge jump. That's something to be grateful for if you have that, because there's people who don't. If you have food and if you have water, well, I could tell you you're a lot happier than the people who don't have it. You may want to eat scallops and steaks and fried shrimp, but you're only eating macaroni and cheese. But you've got something, and it's much better than being starving and being that guy on the side of the street. And if you have family, if you have people that you love, man, you are so lucky, because there are people who don't have that, and they would give anything to have that. And it's not always given that those people will always be around. As you guys know, Moon Lambo, he just recently lost his mom. Just goes to show you things can happen quickly. They can happen suddenly. And while we can sometimes dwell on those things and they can make us sad, we can take a moment to stop and say, at least I have these people in my life. And I'm so grateful that they're in my life. And while these cryptocurrency charts and going to the moon and having fun and making money, it's all great. But if you already have all of those things already, if you have a family to love, you have a roof over your head, you have food and water, and you have a Toyota Corolla, life may get a little bit better, but 90% of your happiness is already satisfied. And I carry that with me when I do all this stuff and when I'm trying to manage my emotions when it comes to cryptocurrency and the volatility of this market is that yep, they go up and down. The losses can sometimes be huge, the gains can be huge, but in the end result of all of this is not going to take my life from living on the street to suddenly living in a mansion. It will likely improve my happiness minusculely, but not like the person on the side of the street who finally got to live in an apartment, or the guy who has to walk to work who finally gets to take a Toyota Corolla. And a lot of times it's a lot easier for me to manage my emotions in here because I recognize that I'm very, very grateful for all the things that I do have in life. I have all of those needs met. I have family, I have food, water, a house, a car. And as we head into Thanksgiving and we head into this moment where we take a moment to pause and be thankful for what we have and be grateful for what we have, I hope that you can take that opportunity to recognize all the great things that you do have in your life. And that it's true. Only the strong people survive in this market. But I have found it to be much easier to manage my emotions and how I feel about this market so long as I can stay in a state of gratitude for what I do have, knowing that most of my basic needs and most of my happiness needs are met. We like to think a lot of things will make us a whole lot happier than they will, but they don't. And if you could find a way to stay in a state of gratitude and appreciating the things that you do have and most of your basic needs being met, you will find that it's much easier to navigate through this market. And that's what a lot of this is. It's really just keeping your emotions in check through the ups and through the downs. And so as we head into this holiday break, and I'll be gone for 4 days, I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for my life, how grateful I am for this opportunity to have this YouTube channel. And I wanted to share with you a lot of the things that helped me get through the tough times in here and the good times. And that I sincerely appreciate you watching, and hopefully you can find that state of gratitude and make it a lot easier on yourself to navigate through this too, because I know how emotional it is. I've been in here for so many years at this point. I've watched it all happen from absolute gloom and doom. Everybody's screaming to everybody's euphoric, and it's all crazy. And I try to keep myself very balanced, and it's just about keeping a very specific mindset on saying, you know what? I'm sticking to the mathematics, I'm sticking to the percentages, I stick to structures, I keep things very simple, and I keep my emotions in check by recognizing that most of my happiness is already met in life. And I know that I would much rather have nicer things. These three monitors that I use, pixels are going out on them all over the place. I've never shared that with you. All three of my monitors, the pixels are going out on them. I need to replace them at some point. It would be great to replace them, but I do recognize that it's not going to significantly improve my happiness while I sit down here by not seeing a couple of those pixels out or the lines across the screen. On my left monitor, I've got this line going across. On the top, in the middle monitor, I've got pixels going out. Yeah, there's probably too much to share, but I recognize that replacing these is not going to significantly impact my life. So I definitely would love to have nicer things, but I also don't put so much emphasis on it that I have to do it or else I'm not going to be happy. I'm very grateful for what I have in my life, and I think, that was one thing that I really learned 8 years ago when I really got sober and decided I wasn't going to drink anymore, I wasn't going to do anything anymore, is that, you know what? A lot of times we drink, a lot of times we do stuff because we're trying to escape reality. We're trying to escape life. And it's because we really focus on a lot of the negative things in our life. But when we take a moment to step back and focus on the things that are really positive in our lives and acknowledge that our basic needs are met, and it's hard to get super happy beyond that once those basic needs are met, you can just kind of go through life a little bit more, calm. And so I hope that I could give you that thought, at least to ponder as we go into the holiday. And even if you don't celebrate the holiday, to maybe think about that for a minute that, you know what, are most of my needs actually already met? And am I putting too much emphasis on, my happiness is super dependent on me upgrading my monitors, on me upgrading my television, on me upgrading my car? Is there too much emphasis on that? And once you can kind of take that emphasis off of that, things just get a whole lot easier. So, all right, enough talking about emotions. Let's talk about the charts for just a brief second. Nothing has really changed with Bitcoin, as expected, just kind of going sideways in here all week. We'll be heading into the holiday. Sometimes we do see price action that does happen on the holidays, at least in 2017. I remember it very clearly. It was always like Friday nights at midnight is when something crazy would happen on the charts. And a lot of times on holidays, something would happen as well. And the cliche thing to say, of course, is going to say Black Friday discounts everywhere if the prices go down. I think I've seen that like 4 times. I don't know how many times I've seen that. I really don't. But it feels like I've seen that multiple times, Black Friday discounts. Either way, the thing for Bitcoin right now, of course, is to continue holding above this in order to not invalidate an Elliott wave, right? To sit here and say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and still go off and have another run up. I wouldn't want to see Bitcoin go below $53,000 or else it will have confirmed the completion of this inverse chart. Of course, I still remain optimistic, right? Because my focus is over on the altcoin market. So if this does happen for Bitcoin, it's not of a big stress to me. I'm way more focused on what will come with the altcoin market. So it's not the end of the world for me if Bitcoin does go below 53,000, but you're going to have a hard time convincing me that there's any further higher prices to happen for Bitcoin during this cycle if it does break below $53,000. So that's something I'll be watching over the course of the next several days. Hopefully we do just hold here and Bitcoin does push up higher and set another new all-time high, which would get it out to the 4.236 Fibonacci extension and take it out to the height of what we've seen in 2 previous super cycles. So it would be the 3rd super cycle to reach this height for Bitcoin. So I am cheering for that. The longer this goes on, the better. But a break below 53,000 would tell me this is done. That was the end of the Bitcoin bull run. Now we'll touch on Zcash just really brief real quick. You can see it's up 22% for the day. There's been a lot of talk out there on Twitterverse about Zcash at this point. We'll see what comes of this. I know a lot of people end up FOMOing into these things. As you guys know, I've talked about it for over a year, maybe almost a year, that Zcash is a big holding of mine personally. But as you can see, it is getting to retracement levels. So right now, we'll see what Zcash does as it gets to these retracement levels. But right now, in the altcoin market of the major altcoins in the top 50 or so, it's kind of one of the big ones being talked about right now. As you can see, it's getting to retracements. We'll see what happens there. See if something crazy comes throughout the break. XRP, my largest holding that I do have, nothing has changed. Still just ranging in here for XRP, waiting for something big to come. which is why I still kind of lean towards, I have to make my best guess, right? So if Bitcoin breaks below 53,000, I think that's the end of the Bitcoin bull run. But if Bitcoin can hold this whole level, um, I have this gut feeling that it is going to hold the level and that it is going to shoot up there to 70 to 75 $80,000 before the top does come in and see XRP take off into that moment. That's how I envision this market playing out. May play out differently. Maybe the surge comes just in the Bitcoin retrace, but historically, looking at previous tops of the cryptocurrency market for Bitcoin, it was in that push right there where the XRP price chart did start to go. So looking to see Bitcoin can hold that level. I don't know if it will. It may already be done. I think if Bitcoin does break below 53, we'd probably see some more dramatic selling come out of Bitcoin at that point, and then it would start to get really crystal clear that that's the end of the Bitcoin bull run. But my suspicion and speculation is that Bitcoin will hold above that 53,000 and that it will set another new all-time high, and that would be the moment in time where this puppy gets going. But still, just a waiting game with XRP. Either way, I can be grateful that XRP is above $1 because a lot of people who have been here with XRP, a lot of my audience, a lot of people who watch my channel, hold XRP. And well, just a year ago, we were 22 and a half cents. So we spent a lot of time in those 17s and those 22s. And I can be grateful that we're in the $1 area. But of course, I'm looking for more. All right. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to tell you how I try to stay in that gratitude state and be thankful for the things that I have as often as I can do, as often as I can take that moment to really reflect on it. That is a way that I try to live my life. I'm very grateful for this YouTube channel. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful to have a place to sleep, a vehicle, some food, and some water, and my basic needs are met. And I hope that yours are too. So I want to wish you guys a wonderful extended break. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Otherwise, I'll keep this brief. As you guys know, there's bcbacker.com. I did add updates in here. It's a course I put together, deep diving into the previous Bitcoin bull runs and the altcoin market cycles, talk about my exit plans in here, and teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators in TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. I did add the final update for Ethereum and the blockchain backer exit plan part 4 progress update. Just added that 2 weeks ago. Those are available in there to anybody enrolled in the course and anybody who newly enrolls in the course at bcbacker.com. I will be active over here on Twitter throughout the break. So if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me at bcbacker. And I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.